When I first came into contact with Damien Leone's Terrifier from 2016, it was your typical independent gore-infused horror flick featuring a scary killer clown. Art the Clown was brought to the big screen after appearing in Leone's two previous short films, 2008's Knife Circle and 2011's Terrifier, as well as the anthology horror film All Hallows Eve in 2013. A classic mime-like performer, Art had seamlessly combined hilarious antics with his ruthless mutilations of his victims. An internet meme these days came from his creepy yet silly smile in the pizzeria, while the most memorable kill had to be that of a saw and a victim hanging upside down. The first Terrifier movie was crucial to introduce us to the victim Victoria Hayes, who would be vital in this universe Leone had carved out. In Terrifier 2, which was released in 2022, we picked things up with Art in the first movie at the coroner's office. Damien Leone introduced us to the Shaw siblings, especially elder sister Sienna, who would be the final girl of this series and the thorn in Art's world, much like Freddy Krueger and Nancy Thompson dynamic from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. As the world of Terrifier was bathed nicely in this sequel from Leone, the film gave us a gruesome kill that involved trick-or-treating that would be hard to measure up to, with Terrifier 3 in the burner with anticipation from the Rabbit fandom. The marketing of the second sequel was building up the whole Christmas festive spirits, and when you put Art into the equation, audience was to be prepared for some improbable shenanigans and more incredulous kills in a season meant to be merry. As per the earlier movie, it started from the middle of the ending credits with the disfigured victim of Art from the first movie, Victoria, being possessed by the little pale girl and gave birth to the dismembered head of Art, which of course put all Sienna's effort in the climactic showdown as a void. Art the Clown and his new partner in crime were on a relentless path of vendetta, which was a 5 years wait for Sienna to be released from her mental health center after PTSD from the chain of events from the last movie. This led to the setting of this Christmas massacre when Sienna joined her auntie's family for a Christmas stayover, while she tried to reconnect with her brother Jonathan, who is now a freshman in college. The story continued with the mystical element to tie the fates of the good and evil factions, which otherwise had no reason upon how Art and Victoria would manage to locate the Shaw siblings without any valid reason. All the MacGuffins, like Sienna's sword and the law that Leone created, are certainly not the strongest aspect of this series of films, but I felt people were more anticipating with the gory set pieces that Leone had designed rather than getting too involved with a solid plot to savor upon. That said, many of my viewing party felt the gore in Terrifier 3 paled in comparison to Ellie's bedroom kill in 2, which was high bar to begin with, I must say. There were still a couple of decent kills which involved chainsaws in the school's gyms, as well as using rats. The crazy shenanigans from Victoria did embellish the overall gory factor. We will cover the characters and performance in a short while. One thing I discovered about the cinematography in Leone's movie was the lack of a panned-out scene, and he had a penchant for a confined space, especially Art's acts of killings. The color palette was very much inclined towards an orange glow and skewed towards the festive period, while patterned after that of Terrifier 2 as well. The star of the movie and this franchise of course has to be Art the Clown, which is played immaculately by David Howard Thornton. When I first saw the character, I felt it was a cheap scare tactics for people with a fear of clown, or chorophobia, myself included. Thornton was able to seamlessly melt some comedic chop without making a sound with the viscera he had to exhibit on screen. In Terrifier 3, he had a lot of fun playing with his prospective victims, especially one particular scene in the shopping mall, and when dealing with Victoria, you could see he was developing a love-hate relationship with a partner who seems to cram his style yet had a level of affinity towards. He had displayed the same ruthless streak when dealing with Sienna as per Terrifier 2, but it would be a shame if he flipped into a consistent serious mode in the sequel if I think they are going into purgatory. Lauren Lavera reprised Sienna Shaw again, and I felt her acting propped up the climactic showdown in this movie. She did not look out of place as a teenager in Terrifier 2, and 5 years after that, Lavera seems much comfortable playing someone closer to her actual age. She started as a stunt double, most notably for Anya Taylor-Joy in M. Night Shyamalan's Split, and had a strong martial arts background. It was hard to see her utilizing her skills in Terrifier movies, as Leone did not focus too much on the action set pieces, but instead amplifying the grievous body harm. Actress Samantha Scarfidi reprised her role as Victoria Hayes, the disfigured victim of Art from the first movie, who was possessed by the little pale girl, and now became a wildcard accomplice to Art. While she was not as creative in a way to cause bodily harm to Art's victims, she was equally cold-blooded, and worse still, she could talk, and behind the mask, Scarfidi made use of her irritating voice to sculpt her character. Being impervious to pain, Victoria did some cringe-worthy harm to herself that brought the grotesque to a whole new level as well. The bespectacled kid brother of Sienna returned, and it was blatant he was on the brink of puberty, yet be made to portray a young man in college, which seems awfully out of place. The same actor also shown no sign of improvement in his acting. There was a slew of irritating side characters that I'm sure audiences like myself would gladly offer to Art to mutilate in the most satisfying way ever, including Sienna's young cousin Gabby, who had an evil aura seated deep within. Beside professional wrestler Chris Jericho making his usual cameo like Rob Schneider in an Adam Sandler's movie, familiar faces like Clint Howard, Tom Savini, and even Jason Patric as Sienna's deceased father pop up as nice surprises. Terrifier 3 raked in a nice $83 million from a modest budget of $2 million, and I'm sure the production companies like Bloody Disgusting would be gladly sanction another sequels to keep their most successful horror franchise going. From the ending of the movie, it was blatant Damien Leone had plans for the next sequel, and after Halloween and Christmas, I wonder if Easter would be the next holiday he would go after. Terrifier 3 did not disappoint, yet I felt it could still do better. The 125 minutes runtime were well spent, though there seems to be some plot holes that I felt could be a choice of Leone. I'm awarding the film a 7 out of 10. Do like and share this video and subscribe to my channel to cheer me on and give me inspiration long enough to do a review of Terrifier 4 when it has been made and premiered. My last review was on Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus. Do excuse me as I try to read my dummy's guide on being cured of chorophobia.